Life on Earth as we know it consists of many shapes and forms. Of all the creatures that live on our planet, one group stands out. They are called football players. Football players have throughout the history of mankind generated many memorable moments and lifted spirits through incredible acts of teamwork and outstanding individual quality. But what do we really know about how football players train on a normal training day? We are about to find out. We will witness how they practice their skills, how they run about on the pitch, and how they interact with each other. Welcome to the training ground. It's early in the morning in the small town of Brøndby. Not a single sound can be heard, and not even the birds are out and about at this early hour. From the outside, this patch of green might not seem much, but on these two training grounds, some of the most impressive football training can be found in the Kingdom of Denmark. This is where the football players of Brøndby arrive each morning and work as hard as they can to become as good as they can. Before the players arrive and training begins, the groundkeepers arrive to prepare the pitch. It is no easy task, and it requires heavy machinery and an eye for detail. Finally, the pitch is ready, and all that is left to do is to give the grass a bit of moisture. For those of you who have tried to kick a football around will know there is nothing better than a newly cut pitch sprinkled with a light touch of water. It is simple, yet astonishing. Every day the players are taken through numerous enduring drills and tough exercises on the training pitch. It is the coaching team who set up these various drills. These drills can seem almost impossible to comprehend, but every detail is carefully considered, and many hours are spent preparing and identifying the right exercises. While this is serious work, if you look closely, you can actually catch a rare glimpse of a smile and some happy feet on the two assistant coaches. And there they are, casually arriving to the training ground, some in pairs and some in larger groups, but all within a few minutes of each other. No matter how many times you have seen it, it is always a majestic sight. As always, when herds of football players gather, you will find kids and adults who are hoping to meet and greet these well-known football players. Here we see a young kid interact with some of the prominent football players. The joy of the child and the pride of his father is priceless as they get their photo taken. Every herd of football players have a captain, and so does this particular herd. The role of the captain is to lead by example and be the guardian of the herd towards unwanted predators. And as we see in this next clip, nothing goes unnoticed of the captain of this herd. As they are creatures of habit, one of our camouflaged cameras is quickly noticed by the captain. Curious by nature, the captain first throws a cone against the foreign object to see what happens. He barely misses. The near miss doesn't stop the captain as he makes his way out onto training. He quickly covers the foreign object with the cone. Object neutralized, and there is now safe passage. With everyone at the training ground, we are only missing one thing before the training can commence: the coach. Having dedicated much of his life to football, and in particular coaching football teams, he walks with great confidence towards the training ground. Amongst the herd of players, he is known only as coach. As coach enters the training ground, he is observing every player. And there, with a single blow to the whistle, he gathers the herd in a circle. Here, the herd of players listens to the instructions of coach, and now the training can begin. As the training starts, the herd runs at a steady pace, circling the training ground. Throughout the training, coach gives advice for the players so they know where the optimal position is to stand on the pitch, and not a single detail is coincidental. It commands a deep knowledge of the game to have this ability as coach does. Training sessions are no walk in the park. It's hard work, and one must always be on one's toes. Like the hummingbird, one can never stand still, or you risk to lose. If you look closely, you can see that many of the football players have ritual markings on their bodies. In the animal kingdom, it bears resemblance to the peacock, strutting its colourful feathers, yet every member of the herd has his own set of individual markings. Although they share the same profession, football players come in all shapes and sizes. Some have short hair, some have long hair, and some have colourful hair. In the far end of the training ground, we find another group of players. They might not have noticeable haircuts or dominant ritual markings, but nevertheless, they are the most peculiar kind of football players, the goalkeepers. Where no one else on the pitch is allowed to use their hands, they are. Their job is to keep out goals from the opposition, and they can use their entire body to stop the ball. They jump, they fall. Their bodies slam into the ground, and yet they stand up seconds later, ready to do it all over again. They do whatever is necessary to stop goals from entering their goal. It is a difficult job, and one must always be alert. When danger seems to be far away, it can quickly turn around and face you. And it can be tricky to always know exactly which way to turn or where to look. Even for some of the most experienced coaches in the field of goalkeeping. Back at the main herd, training continues at rapid pace. It might look chaotic, but in fact, this is another extremely well-organized drill where the players learn how to make not only quick decisions in chaotic situations, but also the right decisions. Like a swarm of bees, the herd moves in groups, ready to sting at any moment. And there is the final whistle. 2 hours of training has now passed, and the morning session is over. It is now time for the players to rest and re-energize their batteries before the afternoon training session starts. The groundkeepers will bring the heavy machinery back on the pitch again and prepare the pitch once again. The herd and coach will continue to practice their skills and interact with each other. And And so it continues, day after day, week after week. This is how groundkeepers and football players work in unison to create memorable moments and lift the spirits in all of us who love the game of football. Welcome to the training ground in Brøndby.